Alright guys, Hazink here, welcome back to the channel for another Final Fantasy VII evercrisis video. So, in this video we're going to do one more video talking about team building, right? Because ultimately you want to be able to push as much content as possible to make all your dreams a reality in this game and build all the teams that you want to build. Now, to do that, it's going to require a lot of grinding for not only items within the game, materials, also for EXP and things like that. So obviously you kind of want to make sure you've got a squad that can do some of those harder things like your EXP materials, like your character stream materials as quickly and as efficiently as possible. That is where min-maxing comes into play, and you want to basically push as much as possible using your strongest setups before you then start trying to level up your other characters, right? Now, how are we going to do that? I'm going to start off by showing you a fresh team, right? I've not put any gear on this team because I wanted to do the process on camera. The only thing I've done to make it a little bit faster is I have put the units onto the squad, okay? Now, so we've got our units onto the squad. That is step one of the process. What we're going to do to min-max? Well, first of all, we're going to decide what roles we want the characters within these teams to play, okay? So, how I'm going to function this is, for me, and this was something that you need to decide based on your own weapon loadouts and your own weapons that you have, right? I want, for me, Cloud to be a pure physical DPS character, okay? For Zack, because we've got that nice new parasol weapon, I've decided I want Zack to be a hybrid of both. He will have a physical weapon and he will also have a magical weapon, okay? And for Aerith, her sole function within the team is going to be a healer, right? So, to do that, what we're going to have to do is deal with what weapons you have within your box that is going to best fulfill that role, okay? So, for me, my main weapon is going to be, I'm so bad at saying this, Murasame. That is going to be his main weapon, okay? And for his sub-weapon, I put a bit of thought into this, but I kind of want to go with Hard Edge for the armor break, right? That's the main reason why I'm putting it in there for now. That, and I don't really have many other options that I like. So for me, this is what I'm going with for my two main options for physical DPS weapons, okay? So you can see here, this one, 480% physical lightning damage, okay? And for this one, deal 370% physical non-elemental damage, plus I've got the bonus of reducing defense, okay? We're not too much worried about any abilities or anything right now, okay? So that is going to be Cloud's main equips, because that is the role that I've designated for him, okay? So for you, what you would need to do is you would need to go into here for your characters, have a look at what weapons you have and see what skills they have, okay? And if you've got a lot of physical weapons, then that should probably be what you focus on for that unit if they are going to be the DPS on your team. If you've got a lot of magical weapons, that's fine. You can use two magical weapons. But if you've got strong options in both, then maybe you want to do a hybrid, okay? And that's what I'm doing here. So, for this guy, we're going to have this Falcon being his main weapon, which has got Gale Blast, 340% physical wind damage to all enemies. Nice, it's an AoE. So we'll equip that on there. AoEs are also good for farming. And as I said, I want to use Beach Parasol because it's got 540% magical non-elemental damage to a single enemy, okay? Plus it's also got a crit rate of 10%, which is decent as well. So we'll equip that onto there for him. So far, that is us got Cloud, and we have got Zack sorted for just their base weapons. Still a few stages to go. For Aerith, she is going to be our healer. That is going to be her main job within this team, okay? So she's going to have this as her main healing weapon, okay? So that's on there. Now obviously she's not going to be healing all the time. So my preference is I like to do some other things, okay? So we've got this one here I can use, which gives her magic defense, okay? And Mag Heal is cast, which is 10% of healing potential. And she also boosts heal with that. Now, I am kind of keen in putting this onto her. I think I will put this onto her because it is going to give her a little bit more healing potential. It's also going to help her out if she needs it with regards to boosting people's magic defense. More often than not, she's probably going to be boosting the heals though. So we'll put that on there just now, and you can see she's now got some nice healing boosting going on. 30% additional potential, she's got earth resistance, she's got boosting magic defense, she's got boosting crit potential, right? So that is just initially how we've got her loaded out, okay? Now, because we're on her, we'll go now and we'll look at sub-equips for her. Now, I've already said that her function on this team is to be a healer. So what I want to do when I am putting sub-equips onto her is I really want to make sure I'm getting the most out of that specific role, okay? So as she is going to be a healer, for her specifically, I am going to look for items or weapons that will boost her healing potential, okay? So if we click here, what have we got? We've got Crystal Sword, which gives 10 points to boosting heal. So it's a nice one to put on there. I think we're going to put that on for her. If we continue to look down, we've also got Defender. For me, boosts heal again. Let's put that on. Equip. So that's her got 2 of these now. And finally, this one here, boost heal, we'll put this one on. Now obviously as you level these things, you get more points give you more prizes. So we're going to equip this. So far she has now got 3 of these, okay? And if you look here now, you'll see that her boost healing potential has now gone up to level 5, which means it's now boosted plus 50 plus 60%, okay? So she is now going to be boosting heals a lot more than she was previously, meaning that her function as a healer is going to perform a lot better within the squad. Now again, as we level these weapons up, we're going to gain more points, like I said already, mean better healing. So that, with regards to our weapon set and our sub-equips, means Aerith is currently done, and to a certain extent, we've maximised her potential for the moment with those 2 areas. We move on to Cloud, okay? Cloud has a pretty strong thunder attack, okay? But as well as that, all of his damage is coming from physical attack, okay? So you can see here, these are his main abilities we really want to look at boosting, which is his boost physical attack, boost lightning potential, okay? He's also got crit down here that we can boost, but those weapons have their potential for boosting crit unlocked at higher levels, okay? So it can sometimes make sense to worry about that later, right? Because these are things that you can work on down the line, because at the moment, you're probably not going to have that many weapons that are highly leveled. So the first R ability is what's going to be more available to you than the secondary R ability, okay? So, because I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we go in here, boost physical attack, specifically physical attack, right? So let's look at what options we've got here. Now, I'll be honest, I probably need to do a little bit more leveling on these weapons, because something like that would be pretty decent to have on Cloud as a secondary weapon, but it would mean I was giving it up as his primary weapon, which right now I'm not really willing to do, okay? So what we can do is we can look at these instead, right? So just as an example, this needs work, okay? We've got Stingray. Stingray right now would only give this, it's not much, it wouldn't actually give him much of a boost at all, okay? However, if we go into it and look, you can see that through enhancement, once we get it up to, I think it's level 3, once we get it up to level 3 or level 40 should I say, sorry, or level 30, it would be, I think around about 10 points it would give, which is obviously a hell of a lot better than what it's given just now, because if you look here, this one I think it was at level 2 it boosted, or level 3, one of them anyway, but once you level it up it would boost and become a lot more effective, right? If you look at something like this would actually be ideal, right? But with this, you've obviously got to get that unlocked, and that doesn't unlock until level 60. So I probably should work on this, and I probably will work on this after the video. Unfortunately, just now, it's only at 4 stars, which is kind of the main reason it's put me off working on it, to be honest. But it's still worth working on, because even at a lower level, I'm still going to get good boosts off of it, making it worthwhile for me to actually put investment into and to actually work on. So just for the purposes of the video, I'm going to put this into here, I'm going to put this into here, and I'm also going to put this into here. Now again, ideally I want to have something a little bit higher, because you can see here that's actually left me short of really moving up to get a lot more physical attack, okay? But what it has done is it's allowed me to see, okay, for me to really push my damage numbers, to the next level, I really should work on these weapons. So that is now going to be my next goal. I'm going to work on uncapping and leveling these weapons, which means this number is going to push up a lot higher, and I am going to get better performance from our boy Cloud here, okay? So we'll park that one just now, because as it stands, even though they're not leveled, that is currently decent for what we're going to have on our sub-equips. Now for Zac, it's a different story. Now Zac I have got down as a kind of hybrid-y character, so it would be this one here. This boosts both physical and magical attack, so by selecting this, you'll see that I actually do have more options that I can put onto Zac, okay? We've got this one here, which is actually pretty good because it's also going to boost his ability, which means depending on what stance you're in, you are going to do more overall damage. I'll show you. You can see it right. Attack stance, physical attack damage +3, magical attack damage +3. It's currently on 15 points, so that means it's at level 3, which means it's 15% and 15%. Now I could technically put that onto Cloud, right? Because if you look here, Cloud would still get, at 20 points, he would still get 7% for his physical attacks, right? And he would also get that boost from the ability potential, right? The only difference with Cloud though, is if we move back across to look at him, you'll see that right now, he's at level 2 for this. Do you know what, actually? It probably would work better on Cloud. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it in Cloud, right? Put it in Cloud. So we put that on Cloud, we don't really lose much here, to be honest, but then we do gain a lot here. You know, that puts that up to 7%, which is obviously a lot better, and we get the boost ability potential at level 2, which would give us an 8% boost, okay? Now obviously we could level that higher, get more points. There's no other weapons at the moment that do that, but the more you get, the more you stack. The more you stack, the higher you get. So overall, that's probably a decent loadout for Cloud if I'm being completely honest, so I'll leave that there just now. But moving back over here to actually put the weapons onto this guy that will help him out. So some good options are Rage Collar. Rage Collar actually, surprisingly, for even a low level, gives us quite a decent number. Gives us 20 points here, right? So I don't think we actually get the full 20 points. Let me just check. Yeah, you get half of it, I think, when it's equipped as a sub. So we get 10 points there for that one. Let's look at the next one. So essentially we want to add 2 more. So that'll give us another 5. Equip that, should put us up to 15. There we go. And if we boost another one, we can see that, what does this one give us? 14? It's not quite enough. 7 that would be. Put it there anyway. And we'll see what that's done for us. So that's put us up to 22. So we're not far off the next level. Okay, that would put us like what, 3 points shy of having a 10% boost to physical and a 10% boost to our magical attack, which would mean that these both weapons are going to be performing even better when they're casting their skills, okay? So that's our weapon loadouts taken care of. When it comes to your materia, if you've got any costumes, I'd probably put them on at this point as well. For me, actually, what have I got here? That's actually the better costume, to be completely honest, for how Zac is working right now. For your materia, what you're really looking to do here is basically put on materia that is going to play to the strengths that you've just built, okay? So if we look, you can see you've got these materials at the side. This one, attack boost 1, ability damage plus 10%. This one here, ability damage plus 10%. And this one here is locked right now, so we'll see it on Cloud, right? So, ideally what I would be looking for is, if we go down and see, I think for him I would want the top one to be a physical, the one below that to be a magical, because then I'm still taking advantage of both of our setup, our hybrid setup, so to speak. It's not essential, but hey, it's something that I can do, so why not? So let me see what I've got here. So if I order this by level, if we go with descending, I believe that puts the highest to the top. Yes, it does. So Fundara below, stats, abilities. This one has got quite a few stat boosts. So it's got physical attack, magical attack, and it's got heal. Now I don't necessarily need the heal as much, but it does have the physical and the magical attack on there. The heal's a little bit wasted, but I'm still going to use it because it is ticking 2 of the boxes, and it also activates this, which gives us that 10% boost. If I click this one here, we can see the next one, what stats I've got. These are all flat boosts, not so much interested in them. This one here would be Fundara Blow, which I think I just used. Pretty sure Fundara Blow was what we just used. It was, so I'm not going to put 2 of the same thing on them. It makes no sense to really do that. Ruin, this one is a HP boost. It's got a lot of HP, not really what we're looking for today. This one is Thunder, again, Ruin. Healing HP, that's probably better to go on to our Aerith, who we have set up to be our healing unit. Magic attack, physical attack, there you go, perfect, right? So that's kind of what we've got him built for. Not the highest stats in the world, but they do feed into the build that we have set up for Zac. So basically what you want to do is run through that for each of your characters. Where you can, try to put in there what is going to help elevate the character builds that you've got, okay? Now, you have to sometimes temper that with a little bit of caution, because some stages you will want to use specific things, right? Like if I've got a weakness to, say, fire, thunder, you might hot swap these occasionally, but for your more farming teams where you're going to go on and push the likes of your weapons, your soaks, your character stones, like I said, and stuff like that, the quickest, most efficient team that's going to do the most amount of damage in the quickest time possible is essentially what you're looking for, right? So I'm just going to quickly go load out Cloud and Aerith, and I'll show you what the end results are, right? So now that I'm finished behind the scenes, I'll just show you really quickly what I've done here. They're not necessarily optimal because I still need to put some levels into these things, right? But what it will show you, if you're doing it with your squad, is kind of areas where you're lacking. So when you are, say, farming materia, you kind of know what you want in advance, right? You know what you're aiming for, you know what you need, and you're not just blindly, mindlessly making materia just for the sake of it, okay? So for me here with Cloud, we've gone with this one here because it's given him a boost to physical attack. With this one here, we've got a boost to physical attack and HP. Yeah, a little bit of magical attack, which isn't getting much use, to be completely honest, but there was no better options at the moment, so that's what I've gone with. And on this one at the bottom, I've simply gone with this one because I don't know what I'm going to get. I could level this and I could get a boost to these, I could get some other good stuff, but right now it was the only one I had sitting that had physical attack on there, which was what I wanted to boost. So I've put that on there for now, and it also triggers this, which matches this, okay? So it gives them a boost there as well, which is always something you probably want to aim for. With Aerith as well, here I'm not taking advantage of this, simply because she's not really attacking on this team. I'd rather have this materia on her because she's getting a 3.7% boost to her heal stat, which is obviously going to be then boosted by her heal potential as well, which means she's going to do a lot more healing on the squad. And for this one here, pretty much the same. This is probably my best overall materia just for different things that it does, but apart from really the physical attack and the magical attack, these two are coming to really good use because having a decent amount of HP is going to keep her alive. And to be honest, if you really wanted to, if it wasn't for the fact that I get just enough points off of these to actually have her sitting at this level, okay, if you didn't have enough points, let's say you were sitting somewhere between 25 and 35, if taking off one of these you were still triggering 25 points, it might be worthwhile putting like a sub-equip on her that gives her healing potential, extra HP, because the more HP your healer's got, the longer they stay alive, the more healing they can do for your team. So all of this is going to vary based on your box, your characters and your aims, but basically if you use the systems all together, you will be able to make stronger squads that will help you to beat harder content and do more within the game. And then at that point, you take those squads that you've built. So if you remember, I think it was like, what, 26,000 or something when we came in? I could build a more powerful team if I just wanted pure stats, okay? But for function, because if I show you here, if we're just looking at pure stats, this as pure stats alone will give me more power, but doesn't necessarily mean the team will perform better than a team that's been optimised to do its job properly. So if I take this team now, I can use it to push content. Then within that content, I can aim to do things like get more materials to push that materia that I need. I can get the items that I need to level those weapons that we've seen that will unlock the higher potential within those characters. You know what you're aiming for. You've got the team built that you know you want to use going forward, and that is what you can use to farm. Once you've started to build up an excess of materials, excellent. At that point, you can start switching different characters into your teams, and you can start using those other characters to start gaining more levels. And it means if you want to later down the line, you can take the likes of your Red X, you can take your first soldier characters, you can take your Tifa, and they're going to be able to handle content because you've already used your good, strong team that you built for farming to have an excess of materials that does it fast, efficiently, and quickly, and it helps you beat a lot more content later in the game. Anyway, guys, hopefully this helps you a little bit understand the mechanics of min-maxing to get more from your teams. It's not all about simply the level of power your team has. That number that I showed you, that will go up when I simply put more levels onto the likes of this. You know, that is what's going to push that number up overall. But from a kind of form and function standpoint, this team down here is more optimised than that team with the higher power level. So really, guys, all I'm saying is just use the things at your disposal. Like, I should really be using this, right? Use the things at your disposal. They are most certainly going to help you do more within your team builds, and you are going to get further and get more from the game overall. So hopefully this advice has been useful to you. Hopefully you can use it to craft your own dream teams. I've been Hazing. I will be back talking about more Final Fantasy EverCrisis stuff very soon. Peace.